Politihoot! And now, from a lonely little corner of the Bronx.
Today's episode, JD Vance, the Evil Ambition Tour. Because nothing says self-made man like a guy who sold his soul and threw in the bootstraps for free shipping. JD Vance grew up in Middletown, Ohio, a town whose only difference between that and yogurt is that yogurt has an active living culture. I know. My parents bought a farm in the late 70s and moved us all out there. They were back within months. So he joins the Marines. He fights in Iraq. He gets a law degree at Ohio State and then Yale Law. Yeah, Yale. Nothing says down home like a degree that costs $200,000 and a roommate named Bradford. He writes Hillbilly Elegy, a memoir about poverty and bootstraps so stiff you could use them as construction material. The book takes off like the latest iPhone launch, hyped, shiny, and impossible to ignore. America eats it up. Finally, a white guy explaining poor white people to rich white people.
Based on the memoir that touched a nation.
Yeah, mostly on the wallet. Yeah, the film Hillbilly Elegy was widely considered a critical and financial bomb. It received a rotten 25% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and Metacritic gave it a weighted average of 38 out of 100 for generally unfavorable reviews. While the movie was nominated for 2 Oscars, it was widely panned for its poor writing, one-dimensional characters, and for being a stereotypical and reductive portrayal of subject matter. The film bombs, but Vance doesn't. He gets a Senate run in an expensive new suit. Hillbilly Elegy was supposed to be about resilience. Instead, it was a pilot episode for an ambitious man who met a megaphone. Pro-Trump interview. 2016. JD calls Trump America's Hitler experiment. 16, 22... And then in 2022, he's looking at him like a golden retriever that only has eyes for his human dad. That's not a change of heart. It's a change of pay grade.
I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him. And but I've noticed this willingness from people who think a lot like I do that, look, we told you so. To all these white working class voters, we told you so. We told you that Trump was going to be a terrible candidate. We told you that you were an idiot if you voted for him. The problem is, if you take that attitude of sort of gloating over Trump's defeat, then you're playing into the very thing that gave rise to Trump in the first place, which is a feeling that the elites think that they're smarter than you and just think you're a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, first he says, Trump's a danger to democracy. Now he's like, democracy, please, it's overhyped. And he wins the Ohio State Senate seat and rides the MAGA train straight into Washington. And in 2025, boom, vice president. Because if you can't write the American dream, you option the sequel. JD Vance didn't drain the swamp. He got equity in the merch table. Now he's VP, chair of the Republican money machine, and plotting for 2028. He's got tech billionaires in his corner, guys who think Elon Musk is too modest. He's the upgraded model, Trump 2.0. Younger, better looking, with a Yale diploma and a bigger vocabulary, which isn't hard. And when he says working class, he means anyone who can't afford their own private space launch. The only thing working class about JD Vance is his work ethic in kissing up to Trump. He's in the White House now, running the RNC fundraising arm while being VP. That's like being the bartender who moonlights as a cop and gives you the breathalyzer test later. He's the first VP to do it. Innovation. Next, he'll be named Secretary of Self-Promotion. He even threatened to deport a guy for making fun of his tie on Twitter. Yeah, we're officially entered into the area of deportation due to hurt feelings. And if your immigration policy includes no fashion insults, you're not a politician. You're Project Runway's Mr. Gunn. Vance keeps playing the man of the people card. He says, I came from Middletown. I'll never forget where I came from. Yeah, but he pretty quickly forwarded his mail to that mansion on Massachusetts Avenue in D.C. JD says he wants to rewire institutions. That's political code for, we found the fuse box and we're going to pull the main switch. Hey, ever tried unplugging democracy and plugging it back in? Congratulations! You just invented authoritarianism 2.0. He's building a coalition of coal miners and tech bros. The coal miner says, I dig for a living. The tech bro says, hey, so do I. Into your data. Here's the moral. When someone says, I'm one of you, check the donor logos on their backs. When they say the elites are the enemy, ask them who contributed to their campaigns. And when they write a book about poverty, see how many commas are in the advance amount. JD Vance isn't the first outsider to become the system. He's the first to live tweet the process, though. He's the influencer-in-chief of the working class, selling populism by subscription. He didn't drain the swamp. He turned it into a branded resort, Trump Lagoon, now with more billionaires. The revolution will not be televised. It'll be streaming. Executive produced by the Vice President.
Coming soon.
Vance. Proof that in America, ambition is the only renewable resource.
Have you apologized? Did you plan to apologize to the family of Alex Peretti?
For what?
Stay snarky. Stay loud. And remember, every time a politician says, for the people, somewhere a lobbyist gets their wings. So that's all for us today here at Politihoot. Please leave a like or subscribe to the show or leave a comment below. You can also go to our Facebook page at Politihoot and check into Podline FM. You then can record your own voice and leave your own message that we might play on the show. Love to hear what you think.
Politihoot!